Yeah, I don't.
Because I want to see the comments if we get any comments.
Should I get maybe I should get Apple headphones or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that would work better. I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube. So we're recording and we're about to record. We are officially live, up and running at 8:54 here on Wednesday night, August 13th, 2025. Chip, how you feeling
Uh,
right now?
I'm feeling good.
We're working through some technical difficulties here, guys. We got a lot of new equipment going on, and we're trying to piece together some things. Um, it's a work in progress. We've had some technical difficulties getting up tonight, but we're gonna fight through it because we're fighters, and people enjoy the boys of summer, right?
Yep. Lily.
Uh, I'm trying to pull up the live YouTube page, but whatever. I'm just gonna go to the screen. I'll keep that on another screen. Um, so Chip, um, tonight we're previewing the LSU defensive line, and there's a lot of new faces there. But before we dive into that, I want to revisit a topic we talked about 2 nights ago. Okay. I brought up a name that is very is an evil name according to LSU fans. I was doing some research for yesterday's podcast for linebackers, and I came across an article on the website and the Valley Shook. Have you ever read that website, Chip?
Yeah, it was oh gosh, who did In the Valley Shook? He used to come on Charlie's show all the time. I can't
Yeah, I
remember.
don't know. I don't know. I know who you're talking about. I can't recall it.
I don't know if he's still is that still around?
It is still around. It is, I think it's a shell of its former self, but here I am reading it. So
I mean, I
they
think it's a great name. They took a
it is a
great
great name. But they had an opening sentence about Whit Weeks after being speaking of the 2023 season, that Whit Weeks was criminally underutilized by convicted war criminal Matt House. That's what I mean when LSU fans take the Matt House thing too far. Do you see what I'm saying?
if it's that's fans. What do you want me?
Yeah, but it's not a good take. Like, yes, Matt House was part of the problem, but hell, Brian Kelly almost kept him for another year.
I think he wanted to.
He did want to. Jacques Doucet said his clip of that interaction between Matt House and Makai Wingo, he felt like Jacques Doucet said he felt like he got Matt House fired by filming that interaction, and he did not intend to do that.
I mean, I'm glad he did.
I'm glad he did too. Obviously, big Blake Baker fan, wanted to be the head coach,
I think he's just
next head coach.
it was weird because Tyron Matthew loved him.
Yeah, he just
They
wasn't
all
a good fit at LSU. But we don't have to say the guy's a convicted war criminal.
no, I
Like,
don't think he's probably a nice person. He had his kids went there. No, I'm with you. I don't do that to coaches, man.
yeah, just because one guy is a bad coach for one season
Doesn't mean
doesn't make him an awful coach. Sometimes it just doesn't work out for
I
a
mean he was a good
particular
coach he
coach.
was a good coach at Kentucky, man. They were
Yeah.
they good defense for 2 years under him.
So that's my thing about Matt House is he's become this like whipping child for a 2023 defense. And listen, he deserves a large portion of the blame,
He
but
was
so do the
bad.
players. So does
Yeah.
the secondary. So does the D line coaches. There's three of them that year. There was plenty of blame to go around.
Yeah. I mean, he obviously didn't connect with our players, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
And I know he didn't recruit.
that's true.
So you can't come here and not recruit. That's where Kelly fucked up big time.
I have another off the wall random question for you.
What's up?
If you're tailgating for an LSU football game, what do you prefer? Jambalaya or pastalaya?
I mean, it's all relative to me. It's all the same.
Yeah, but which one, if you had to pick, which one would you prefer?
Probably jambalaya. It's less dirty.
Okay. Shout out to our friend Reed and his
Do not,
win his winless
not try. You
jambalaya.
you keep trying to like get him to make that. He says we're gonna lose if he makes that. We're like 0-6 since he's done that.
It's his winless jambalaya. And for the record, I thought we were going to lose to Alabama regardless last year. So I said, Reed, you might as well make it because we're not
And that's
winning this
why
game anyway.
we got our ass waxed.
We were going to get our ass waxed anyway because remember, it was raining that day during the game. There was a rain forecast during the game.
Oh
And
yeah,
so that was just a situation where they were a running team. We were not a running
yeah.
team. It was going to be wet. If they got the lead, it was over. And they got the lead. It was over. But anyway,
Yeah, they did. They did, and we didn't score on the play we should have scored on.
defensive
We
line
drove.
preview.
We
Oh, go
drove the
ahead.
ball the first drive, and we drove it down to the 1, or maybe it was the second drive.
And then the game was over.
Yeah.
Defensive line preview 2025. Speaking of which, part of that problem in that game was the lack of talent you had. Let's rewind a year ago. Who were your defensive tackles who started against Alabama?
Bro and McKinley.
McKinley had 0 starts on the season last year.
Oh, but he played a lot.
He played.
I
Bro
said that
started
was
2
one of our.
games.
So Bro said that is one of that was. I mean, he's like, those guys were just men, and I was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I got dominated. It's embarrassing.
I thought the 2 starters for the Alabama game, and I didn't look this up. I thought it was Paris Shand and Gio Paez for that game.
Was it?
And those 2 guys are 2 converted defensive
Yeah.
ends
Oh,
playing
yeah.
defensive tackle last year. Going into the season, Jacoby and Guillory was our only experienced defensive tackle. He got hurt in the second game of the season, out for the season. And so you were literally left with converted defensive ends and freshmen.
Yeah. Although I'm happy he's back this year. It's going to work out because we weren't that good last year.
No, we weren't. No.
Let's just call it what it is. I don't know. I don't even
Especially
know.
on the interior.
You lost to USC. It was really bad. A&M wasn't very good. You lost to them.
You got pushed around.
Yeah, you got embarrassed by them. Alabama was solid.
You did, and that's what
Ole
I said.
Miss, Ole Miss was better than everybody, and you beat them.
But you still got outgained by a million yards in that game.
Was it that much?
Yeah, it was like they had, I don't know what the final yardage was because of our last drive. Remember, we went 75 yards.
We would stiffen up at the red zone. We did with them.
But for most of that game, we were 200 yards less of offense than they were.
I don't think it ended up being that much, but yeah.
Because we had a 75-yard drive at the end that cut into that. But it was at least 150-yard difference in that game. And I'm saying that off the top of my head. I might very well be wrong. But you weren't good in the interior because you weren't stout. You didn't really have SEC caliber defensive tackles. Your only 2 SEC caliber guys were 2 true freshmen, Dominic McKinley and Ahmad Bro. And Ahmad Bro was a converted defensive end last year too.
He was a defensive end in high school. He played some D tackle, but he was mostly a D end. Well, this is a good segue into it because we now have SEC defensive tackles.
Let's start off with the guy who has made the most noise in this fall camp by far is Bernard Gooden, the transfer from South Florida.
Yeah, I hope he's good. I mean, I have no idea. He might just be really loud.
They're saying he is absolutely living in the backfield.
He's good.
They are moving some pieces around on the offensive line. They're trying new guys out at guard. So I don't know how much that is that Bernard Gooden is just abusing people or if we are weak at guard. That's the problem with college football. You don't have any preseason games to really determine. And you got to play at Clemson week 1, and that's when you find out if you're good on the D line or if you suck on the O line. So you get trial by fire. But
Not trying to sunshine pump, but there's some people that say he's really good that are in the know.
well, okay, let's talk. We haven't talked about the offensive line. But the guys he's going against, DJ Chester was a starter for this team last year. Yes,
Yeah,
he struggled, but he was a starter.
sometimes. I mean,
Josh
yeah,
Josh Thompson was a starter at a Big Ten school.
yeah. Wasn't he all Big Ten last year?
Yeah, and Braylon Moore.
All ACC.
Yeah, so like these are guys that are good football players that he's beating up on. It's not
Yeah,
like it's
and
not like he's
it's.
going against Cardell Thomas out there. Is what I'm
I
saying.
know we're not supposed to be talking about the O line. This will be the last thing I say about the O line, but there's no difference than Josh fucking Pate saying um, Manning's going to be amazing quarterback, but you can't say the 2 5-star bookend tackles we have aren't because they were also 5 stars. Maybe high 4-star. One was definitely a 5-star. The kid from Texas was a 5-star.
I think that's bait talking to me about Arch Manning. I think you're trying to bait me.
I
And
mean,
I'm not
I,
going to take the bait tonight.
I'm just, but I'm being honest. But if you're gonna talk, well, they're like, well, it's pedigree. Okay, well, those two guys have a good pedigree. Like, it's just disingenuous, and
I don't give a fuck who your pedigree is.
yeah.
When you're starting quarterback for an SEC school, it doesn't matter who your fucking uncles are in the third quarter.
No,
When
no.
you got
Listen,
Georgia's defensive line jumping up and down across from you, you're either going to shit down your leg or you're going to nut up and be a good quarterback.
I didn't see
And
him play except for sparingly in the Georgia game, and then I guess I watched some of his plays against Mississippi State. I mean, he didn't just look like a normal backup quarterback to me.
yeah,
But in high school, he was not that great. I watched him play. I went to a
if
game.
his name
Now, granted, that's
wasn't
one
Art,
game, but
yeah,
he was a man child amongst little boys playing DB, which is crazy that
you
Odell Beckham.
baited me on a night where we're talking about LSU defense
All
on
right, let's get
one.
off the topic
Yeah,
here.
because this one of the most positive things I'm about this LSU team is this defensive line. So Bernard Gooden, if we're gonna play glass half empty, the reason to be concerned about Bernard Gooden is his size.
Yeah. What's his
Okay.
weight?
He is 268 pounds, 6'1, 268 pounds defensive tackle. However,
How much is he? How tall is he?
6'1.
Oh, so he's like Neil.
He's a smaller Makai Wingo. Makai, he's got an inch in height, but he's got less weight in him. However,
Yeah, Makai Wingo.
yeah. However, for those of y'all who don't know, I'll talk a lot of offensive line because I'm a former offensive line coach. And so that's kind of the stupid shit I nerd out about. Um, the most dominant high school, I mean, I know this is high school versus college football, but the most dominant defensive lineman I've ever seen that I ever coached against or coached with at the high school level was a 5'9", 210-pound defensive tackle that was unblockable for 5A football. So size does not always mean everything. Because here's the thing. When you get to a school like LSU, they're all strong as an ox. They're all strong. There's no guy who's weak on there. So that's why I always think it's stupid when fans blame, the strength and conditioning staff. You blame you, or I should clarify, when fans blame the strength and conditioning staff when you get physically dominated in a football game. They should get the blame when you get tired at the end of the game, when you get worn out. That is what the strength and conditioning staff is for. They don't, their job is to not make you run the ball against Georgia. That's where your position coaches come in. That's technique and effort and what all those other little things. It's not how much you bench press. So what I'm saying here is everybody's strong at this level. What Bernard Gooden brings to the table is everything I've read is first and second step. When you're an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman, it is a race to who can get that second foot in the ground. And everything that I've read and heard is Bernard Gooden is absolutely destroying LSU's offensive line because he is getting that second step in the ground before the offensive line can get their first step in the ground. And that explosiveness, there's nothing harder to block, to prepare for as an offense than an absolutely explosive defensive tackle who can just disrupt everything in the run game. Give me a small, undersized defensive tackle all day who's disruptive instead of a big, fat 300 or the kid from Florida from last year with the Bucks. As a former line coach, I fucking hate big, sloppy guys. Give me quick and fast all day because you can cause more problems and disruption for an offense with a quick and fast guy. Because the other side here, the good thing is he's not going to play every down. Because what other guys do you have, Chip?
Got a lot of people.
You've got Ahmad Bro, like you just said.
You got the Gym Rat.
You've got Dominic McKinley.
Gym Rat.
By the way, I meant to bring this up about Bernard Gooden because he's been the star of camp, and it looks like he is going to be an absolute player for this team. Chip, who was the last great number 88 that we had?
The last great number 88. I'm trying to think tight end. I don't remember it being wait, was Kid Adams 88? No, he's 89.
Friend of the program, Nathan, his high school football was number 88, and
Yeah.
he appreciates good number 88s. He said he is very much looking forward to Bernard Gooden because it's about time we bring a good number 88 on the roster.
Who was the last?
Oh, shit. He said Abram Booty.
I thought Abram Booty was 88.
He was 88.
You're right. Yeah, that probably was it. We had some tight ends back in the earlies that were supposed
But he said they were never that good. They were always like your second tight end.
They weren't. I don't even really remember an 88 too well.
Exactly.
But Kid Adams was 89.
Yeah.
He was a bad motherfucker.
Ahmad Bro, speaking of numbers, he changed from 93 to 16. I don't like it.
I do. I love teens on D-line.
I don't like 16 on the D-line. I don't know why. There's nothing scientific about it. I don't have a reason. I just think a defensive tackle looks better with 93 than 16. 16 is a weird number.
I don't know. When Auburn had number 1 as a D tackle, number 5.
But those are great numbers. I'm saying 16 is not a good number.
I'm okay. I liked all the teams. I have with all the team numbers.
If we had to rank the team numbers, is 16 the worst?
Not a 15 guy. But no, it's not.
I thought Womack looked great in 15 last year.
He was originally 16, was he not?
He was, and then he switched to 15 because 16 is an inferior number to 15. See, it proves my logic.
All right. Anyways, that's fine. But I think it'll look good on him because he's huge and he's got a neck tattoo of something red, and that looks painful.
The Ruston Bearcats. I have no idea, but that's where he's from, and that's their mascot.
I forget what it, but I was just like, well, that looks like it was painful.
And another note, Ahmad Bro being reacquainted with his high school head coach is now his position coach.
I was going to talk about him at the end, the head coach, so we'll save that for the end. But speaking of, if you want to talk about his head coach, we talk about him now because
do it.
A small D lineman that had a quick second step.
13-year pro Kyle Williams in the NFL for one team, 6 Pro Bowls, All pro, I think, one season. Um,
Yeah,
when was the
and he
last
was on a
guy that
bad team forever.
who
Yeah,
stays with a team in the NFL for 13 years?
apparently he loved it down there, up there.
Yeah. Buffalo
I know
Bills,
the
my
guy.
favorite
He's a
team.
good
Shout
guy.
out Bills. This is the year.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, and
Do you think what do you think of his effect? What effect do you think he's going to have on the D line?
I mean, I'll be honest. I wasn't like that. I mean, I was like, cool, higher, I guess. But I mean, I thought it was almost like, oh, you missed on a guy, so we're gonna, or a couple maybe. I don't know the truth about it, obviously, but it's from what some people said. They said it was they missed out on a couple dudes, so they were just like, well, let's just hire Kyle Williams, which I don't disagree. I wasn't like pissed by the hire, but I thought it was underwhelming. I mean, but he's been fantastic from the day he's been hired to now. I mean, but we got to wait for the season, obviously. But he seems to have a pretty good D line on him. Do I think he's going to be a good coach? Yeah, I do.
I'm going to
I do.
say something. I'm going to say something. This might be my controversial take of the night.
Mhm.
Um, the Bo Davis hire was his effect was overrated. Um, it was a it ended up not being a good hire because I think you threw so much money at him. He didn't really want to come here. And then when he came here, he openly talked about, he's quoted as saying that the cupboard was bare, which it was. I'm not denying that. Um, and that it just wasn't really the fit that they thought it was going to be. And really, the first chance he got to bolt and go to the Saints, he went. Because, I mean, would you want to coach for the Saints right now? It's not really a great job
No,
he
I
took
think
there.
I don't know if it. I mean, I think it was just. I think college was wearing on him in general.
Yeah, the college game was changing. I don't
Yeah,
think he really wanted to leave Texas, but we threw so much money at him that he had to. And then
I
I don't
think
think his heart was in
yeah,
it.
I don't disagree with that totally, but I guess this is kind of gaslighting, but I think he wanted to come back to LSU and do well. I think that I think when the Oklahoma kid, when the kid from TCU uh was going to come here and they all remember that kid, the kid he started for Oklahoma this year. He's still there. Defensive tackle and he
Yeah,
wanted like
vaguely.
1.5 or something.
Hmm.
He was like, "Really?" I heard that affected him. That's
Well,
from people.
he turned down the job at LSU, stayed at Texas, and then we threw more money at him, and then he took it.
I think he's a great coach. I miss him, and I think he was going to be good for LSU eventually. I mean,
But his heart
I think
wasn't in
with
it.
what
He
I
bailed.
think they were decent last year. I think he
The
turned some.
cupboard was bare. It was,
Yeah, I think he did what he could, and I
but
think
the what I'm trying to say is I don't think just going and hiring the best coach is always the best answer. And
yeah.
so the
But
flip side of that is
I get hiring Bo Davis.
yeah, and it didn't work out. And what I'm saying is you had to go cheap with Kyle Williams here. But this hire might be better than the Bo Davis hire.
Yeah, you're almost like I wish we could have just hired him last year.
Yeah, because
And
this is a
but then the
guy.
fans would have shitted on him because he wasn't Bo Davis.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm cool
now,
with the way it worked out. I wish Bo Davis would have worked out. I like Bo Davis. I think he's one of the best D line coaches of all time in the college
but
game.
listen to me. He's the Kyle Williams. It's going to be a better hire because he wants to be here. Yes, Bo
Definitely.
Davis was from here, but Bo Davis was happy at Texas. He didn't want to leave Texas. It was only because we threw the bank at him that he left. And so Kyle Williams loves being here. And there's something about,
It shows. It shows.
yeah, if you're more enthusiastic about a job, you're going to do a better job.
Yeah, that screen. Speaking of screenshots, that screenshot of Bo Davis doing like stretches. He's like, I don't want to do this. He looked upset. Remember that?
Yeah, there was
Why does
I,
Yacht catch these things? It's he just. I don't tell me he doesn't do it on purpose.
every interview, the Josh Pate thing we talked about last night, supposedly those quotes were attributed to Bo Davis. that he was the one that wasn't happy with the state of things at LSU. And Pete Jenkins went on the radio, so former LSU coach, went on the radio and said that he had to calm Bo Davis down because Bo Davis wasn't happy when he first got to LSU. And listen,
Yeah, I mean
the talent was shitty last year. I'm not saying Bo Davis did a bad job coaching. I think he did a great job coaching on the field. What I'm trying to say is I think Kyle Williams is going to be a better hire because he wants to be here.
yeah. I don't think it was Kelly though. Like I know I don't think I'm not saying you're trying to go there,
I'm
but
not going there at all. I didn't bring that up.
I know
I
no,
think
but
it's the situation as a
I
whole.
don't. Yeah, yeah. I think it might be a little, but he also said he did like Kelly.
Yeah. But he left a team that ended up playing in the college football playoffs to come
Yeah,
here and be 8-4.
they
Yeah.
still, Texas looked miserable though during that whole run.
But he helped build it because he was there year one with
Yeah,
Sark.
I mean, I get it. It's human nature to only be disappointed that where you're at because I like.
Yeah.
I don't know. When he was here, we were badass at D line, so I get it. When he was a strength coach at LSU, we had Nick Saban. I mean, I Nick Saban and Kelly are two different cats, man, to work under. I think one is less demanding. I think maybe Bo likes the demand better.
Yeah. I think the
You know, some
rigors of
coach
the college game, like you said, I think there was a lot more. There were
a
so
lot of
many
things.
things
Yeah.
going into it.
I think that kid, I can't remember his name, from TCU to Oklahoma. I think that affected him. I think it.
Mhm.
I think it pissed him the fuck off. And then they get another kid, and he says he wants to come, and then doesn't either. The kid that went to Miami, who did nothing.
So next player on the list, Jacobian Guillory.
Happy to have him back.
Yeah. So
Not
he
happy he
was
got hurt, but I'm okay with him coming back. He seems to be a good team leader. Has his career been what? I mean, I would say he's been successful.
he's played in
Um,
41 games at LSU.
yeah, he's a
He
good.
has so much experience.
He also threw an Ole Miss kid down on the ground one time, and I thought that was really cool.
Um,
Jackass.
context. Last year, he was your number one defensive tackle. This year, he's going to be your fourth guy.
Yeah, but I like that. He's
That
gonna.
just shows you how much better you are than a year ago.
Yeah.
And then also, I know this is Chip's favorite guy, Sean Washington.
Don't.
That's why. Famous quote of Bo Davis, speaking of which.
That's the
Sean, the fucking head coach is talking to you. That was a great. For those who don't know what we're talking about, it's a Twitter clip. Was it Jock Doucet? Jock always catches everything. Uh, but it was a
dope.
clip of Bo Davis screaming, Sean, Sean Washington, the fucking head coach is talking to you.
You
I'm not
goddamn
gonna.
right. I'm talking to you.
I wasn't gonna do the Brian Kelly because you say I don't do the good Brian Kelly
No,
impersonation.
you make it sound way too weak, and that's not how he sounds.
Well, you do it. What did he do? How did he respond?
Goddamn right. I'm talking to you. You make him sound way too like Yankee. Wave racers.
No, you say I make him sound like one of our dear friends' mom.
You do the same voice for Brand's.
Yeah. I do the Barb voice for
Kelly.
Brian Kelly.
He doesn't sound.
I admit it. That's why I don't do it. I don't do a good Brian Kelly impersonation.
It's all right. It's just the way you.
Also another guy who could get time at defensive tackle is Sadir Mitchell, the transfer from Texas.
I haven't heard that much. I know he's got to play as a run stuffer. I mean, he's huge.
Here's the thing about the D line. I think you're pretty much your too deep is like set in stone. And so these other guys like Sean Washington and Sadir Mitchell and some of the defensive ends we'll talk about in a second, you haven't heard a whole lot from them because you've heard so much about Gooden, Bro, McKinley, and Guillory. Like those are your four guys. So we don't know if Sadir Mitchell or Sean Washington are having a good camp because they're just kind of buried on the depth chart.
Yeah, you haven't heard much about them, but they are the bigger, thicker guys. Like I think they're going to play. I think they're going to play. And okay, so who's next?
There's some freshman defensive tackles, but are they really worth mentioning?
Is that Zion?
Uh, Zion Williams from Lufkin, Texas, Brandon Brown, and Walter Mathis. I don't. They'll
Yeah,
play against Southeastern.
maybe one will get on the field. You never know.
I mean, even if you have two injuries, I mean, you still got Sadir Mitchell and Sean Washington that are going to play.
Yeah, I think. I mean, you need 4D tackles though.
Yeah, and you've got them, and then you've got backup plans for those guys. Last year, we were going into it with JVR Suggs and Gio
Who played
Paez,
better than what I thought?
but he was a situational guy.
Yeah, he was good at rushing the passer.
Yeah,
He was a good third down. I'm gonna try to get to the quarterback. He got to him a couple times.
but he wasn't stout against the run.
No.
Where you're look, so not only do you have players, but you've got depth. So, I mean, if you're rotating all game and then you got a fresh Bernard Gooden who's got this explosive first and second step going against people in the fourth quarter, you're going to be absolutely dominant.
Yeah, he looks in great shape, man. He really does. You saw him on the interview. It's the first time I heard him talk. He sounded like a lovely person, actually.
Yeah.
Like has a great attitude, and I mean, he looks like that dude would have freaking.
Something Blake Baker
He'd
said
have hammered railroad freaking things back in the 1800s. Like just
something Blake Baker said the other day that I didn't really think about. I always defended our defensive ends last year because I thought our defensive ends were really good. Braden Swinson, we're going to miss Braden Swinson. I'm
yeah.
telling you right now.
I wish we had him another year. Yeah,
We got four guys, but I don't know if any of them are as good as Braden Swinson.
yeah. Braden Swinson's gonna be a solid pro.
But the thing Blake Baker said was we were one of the best teams when it came to rushing and getting pressure on the quarterback, but we were below average at actually sacking the quarterback. And a part of that reason was the interior of the defensive line never got a push. So those defensive ends would get up the field, but we were at different levels and wouldn't collapse the pocket on the quarterback, so quarterbacks were able to escape.
Yeah.
And this year, with those defensive tackles, look for a lot of interior pressure with the pass rush too.
Yeah, get that leakage in the middle, and then get when they step outside. Yeah, gosh, we used to be so good at that.
Yes, that back in the day.
I mean, dude, we got leakage in the middle in 2019. That was one of the things we were at least getting turnovers and sacks.
Mm-hmm. All right, switch it over to defensive ends. Which defensive end are you most excited about, Chip?
I mean, I like them all. I'm excited about what's his name, Florida State, really a lot.
That's the one I'm probably the most excited about.
Yeah, I think every time I watched him play, you noticed too, you could see who he was, and during the times he played LSU, you could see.
So we're talking about Patrick Payton, fifth-year senior, who's going to be wearing number 6. I do like a defensive end wearing number 6.
Good looking.
6'6", 255 from Miami, Florida. He played for the last 5 years at Florida State. Started the last 2 at Florida State. So he was part of that mythical Florida State national championship team.
He was one of their best players. He was a
top
top 2 guy. Him and what was the D tackle's name? What was his name? I can't remember. They're badass. Well, he was a DN too. I mean, he's from Buffalo.
I know I can see the face, but I can't.
Yeah, he was good.
But Patrick Payton has 16 career sacks and 31 and a half tackles for a loss.
I like it.
I think that's going to be, if somebody's going to be as good as Braden Swinson, it's going to be that guy.
I think he has a shot to be. I think he's built a lot like Braden Swinson too. Except he looks meaner.
The benefit is Braden Swinson had to play every down last year. Guess who you've got? I've got 5 defensive ends that this coaching staff seems to gush about. So the first one, like you listed, Patrick Payton.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Gabe Relaford.
Yeah, I know he's doing well too. They gush over him all the time.
They gushed over him last year. He was a rotational player here last year.
Dude, Kelly put him in the backfield last year. No, I'm just saying if Kelly put a freshman in the backfield on a 4th and 1, he's
Yeah.
got to be good.
He like the coaching staff likes him. And then you also have the transfer from Nebraska, Jamari Butler,
Yeah, number 12.
the transfer from Florida,
I
Jack
like number 12.
Pyburn.
I like number
And
12.
then what's the one name that you always hear about? Last fall camp, spring, this fall camp, who's now a redshirt freshman from Destrehan, Kalaj Cobbins.
Yeah. You've been hearing shit stuff? I haven't really.
I have that they're going to have packages where he's on the field.
I mean, he looks like a freaking dog.
They
They
say
all do. They all do. They're all very similar built, and I like that. They're all jacked. Look, Butler's a player, by the way, too. I didn't get to mention him. I'm really excited about him too.
I will clarify. I do think Butler and Pyburn are kind of different players than the other three.
Yeah. Well, Pyburn is the one that's different out of them all. I think Pyburn is
and I think Butler's the same as Pyburn.
I mean, Pyburn.
If it's 4th and 1 and the game is on the line, Pyburn, and you know they're going to run the ball, you want Pyburn and Butler on the field.
Yeah, I heard he's getting better at the rush, though, dude.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking their rushing
What did
ability.
Florida call him 1-sack Pyburn?
Yeah, here's the thing about Pyburn. He has 1 career sack.
He had a lot of tackles, though.
Tons of tackles. Only started 9 games. And I'm comparing, and I'm at only 9 games because I'm comparing him to Patrick Payton, who was a 2-year starter, and Butler, who was a 2.5-year starter. Or no, he started for a year and a half.
Butler was on a bad team too. So
I mean, Butler had a great season in 2023, and he started half the season in 2023 for Nebraska. Last year, he was a full-time starter and just didn't put up the stats. He didn't put up the sack numbers, but he had.
That could be a lot of things, though.
Yeah, and so he just chose a new scenery, and now he's here. And all of these guys, you're not going to depend on them for any. I mean, we're so used to Savion Jones and Braden Swinson playing every down because we had to move Parashan to defensive tackle, and our defensive end rotation was shot to shit last year.
Yeah, and Parashan played really good the year before at DN.
Yeah, he played really good at the beginning of last year too.
Yeah, he played his butt off too. That's another guy I wish they could have gotten another year out of. He wasted a year at Arizona. I mean, just wasted a year.
So I think Butler and Pyburn are your physical defensive ends, where Peyton is your pass rush specialist. So is Cobbins, and then Relaford's kind of a mix of everything.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, because Relaford could be a run stopper too.
I think if you're asking me which guy has the highest ceiling, I think it's Relaford. Because I think he can be a little bit of everything.
Super smart and is like an all-A student and is works his butt off every day, and that's what I mean. When he was being interviewed, by the way, bro, the interview that what's the kid, the Vernon Verdict guy from
shout out Vernon Verdict, great podcast.
He does a good job, and he has some great interviews with another dude. Was it G Sports? Anyway, some dude from New Orleans, and they're really good with those interviews, man. And that bro was very smart, sounded very articulate. I'm pretty excited about those guys. They all seem pretty bright, and don't forget about Dylan Carpenter, bro.
Well, I was gonna say there's 2 other names here.
Shout out to Dylan Carpenter.
Dylan Carpenter, and there's been some little bit of smoke around CJ Jackson having a good camp too.
He looks good. Is he 17? CJ Jackson 17?
He is number 14.
Oh, 14. Okay. That's Livingston, right?
No, 17 is Damian Shanklin, freshman.
Oh, he looks
the highly recruited freshman.
He looks like a dog.
Yeah.
17's a
I
good.
I think
17's
he will be a good player. I don't see him getting on the field this year.
yeah. I mean, but I did hear someone say something about DC, who, by the way, he's on the all white boy team.
I think Dylan
We got
Carpenter's
some,
future is at
and I
tight
mean
end.
this only in a straight way, but we got some white babes on there, man. Some '80s guys, some like that steroid on Muscle Beach. We've got a couple of them, dude. We have like it's about as good as it's been for the white boys in a while.
I don't know why we haven't moved Dylan Carpenter to tight end yet.
He looks like he'd be a good tight end.
I think he's an all-American tight end waiting to happen.
Where's he from? He's from Sandoval, right?
Sandoval.
He's like the last good player from Sandoval. I like Dylan Carpenter. I think he's. I
I
think
like
you.
Dylan Carpenter too.
I think you need play. I think you need players like him.
When you recruited him and you signed him, I'm like, that's your future tight end right there.
He looked like God. He is a work of art.
Yeah. Damian Shanklin, the only freshman defensive end we brought in this year. I mean, we've got
Good, solid. I mean, top 100 guy.
so recapping, Relaford, Peyton, Jamari Butler, Pyburn are you're going to be your primary defensive ends.
Yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter who's on a given game. You could mix up which one of these four guys start. I don't think it really matters who starts is like who's got the hot hand, who finishes a game really is what's going to matter. Um, and that's kind of the theme of the defense is there's so much depth just about everywhere where it doesn't really matter who starts. It's going to kind of be like more or less like a basketball team where you're going to see all these guys, and then who's going to play at the end of the game might just be the guy who's got the hot hand.
Yeah.
And then Cobbins is gonna play in situations when it's 3rd and 12. They're
I
gonna
thought he was
have
going to play a
packages.
little. I thought he was going to play a little last year, and I was a little. I think he played some special teams.
I think he played in 2 games if I remember right.
Well, he just redshirted.
Yeah, he redshirted.
I mean, he looks good coming off the bus, though.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think you'll see actual packages for Cobbins this year.
Yeah, it sounds like they've really opened up the defensive playbook this year. I mean, I know he said that, so it's kind of silly that I'm acting like this isn't a revelation. But Blake Baker's a phenomenal coach because this is gonna end our defense our defense category. This is our last one.
Yeah.
And
So, what do you overall thoughts on the defense? What do you think?
I think Kyle Williams has been an impressive hire. Obviously, I did not think it'd be this good. I'm not like shocked, but I mean, you went from Bo Davis to him, and you're like, that sucks. It was sucked losing Bo Davis, and I think he's been a. I know no one else can act like they're surprised, but he's been a little bit of surprise for me, and the kids seem to take to him. Like Daniel said, he might be the best fit. I always hated when they said that about Ed Ogeron, but he really might be. It might be what they needed, and he probably knows how to talk to these kids a little bit different. And I think the guys like Bo Davis though too. I think they love Bo.
Well, I think the difference is no disrespect to Bo Davis. I think he had tons of respect. But what do all these guys at LSU aspire to be? NFL players.
Yeah.
And there's not many guys who have the skins on the wall that Kyle Williams has.
Yeah, you have an
NFL
all-pro
player.
You have an all-pro, former All-American, a national champion. Like just so Kyle Williams was a 4-year starter.
Yeah, 4-year starter at
LSU.
LSU.
He wasn't big. He
13 years in the NFL.
He has a lot of wear and tear on him, and he held up. Was he ever hurt? I mean, maybe.
Probably.
He wasn't hurt at LSU.
But that's what every one of these guys, that's what Bernard Gooden, Ahmad Bro, Dominic McKinley, Guillory, Washington, Mitchell, all of these guys, what they want to be is what Kyle Williams is or was. And that speaks to something that like you instantly command respect in that room. And I'm not disrespecting Bo Davis in any way, but I don't think he didn't want to leave Texas. We had to give him what, $3 million
2,
2 million for a position coach.
like
He,
2.1.
yeah, he was the
That's going to be
highest
the
paid
highest paid.
position coach.
Yeah, by a
That's what
lot.
it took to get him here because he didn't want to leave. And then when he got here, the cupboard was bare. And I just don't think he wasn't happy here. I mean, if you're not happy, you're not going to put your best foot forward as a coach.
And
But
I think
guess who? But guess who loves his $900,000 he makes a year and probably thinks is living the dream coaching at LSU? Is Kyle Williams.
his family stayed in Buff. Well, no, they probably moved back.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah,
and then we're also underselling Peoples.
yeah. We even talked about Peoples. I mean,
Yeah.
Peoples and the kids take to him really well too.
Yeah. So Peoples, for those of y'all don't know, Kyle Williams coaches the defensive tackles and Kevin Peoples coaches the defensive ends. And he's considered one of the best defensive line coaches in college football too.
Yeah, and that was why I wasn't too worried. I thought you were just going to bump him in to do
Yeah,
the
that's
fall.
what I thought they were going to do.
But I'm glad they got Kyle Williams. It was a good move. You could critique Kelly when he does things, but this was a good move on his part. I think he's made some really good hires as of late with the defense. I think bringing back Corey Raymond, I was kind of happy to see Corey Raymond go. But I'm happy that he's back because he's done a good job. I think the DBs were a lot better last year. And I used to not think he was that good of a coach, but he was a great recruiter. Now I think he's a great recruiter. Obviously he is. And those kids have gotten better. And I hear we're going to recap the defense real quick. And the DBs got a good defense. I see
But
it.
we can go more tomorrow night on defense if you want to kind of recap the defense, predict the defense as a whole.
I think no, we'll move to offense. I want to get to the predictions of We're gonna do a whole recap of the upcoming. We're not a recap, but we're gonna give our opinions on the upcoming season here next week at some point. I know there are people that want to hear that.
There are so for those of you who don't know, there's been a lot of questions because Daniel has come across as a very optimistic a positiger on this podcast, where in social circles, I'm known as very much as a negatiger. So people who've been listening every night are very, very curious about where my season prediction is because I have floated predictions out there of 6 wins to 8 wins, but I like it. Listen, we haven't talked about the offense yet. I love the personnel on the defense.
It's
I
it's
I still have some questions about until we line up and we out physical, until we line up and play LSU defense, which we haven't fucking lined up and played LSU defense in 6 years. Until I see it, I'm still skeptical. But the players are there, the pieces are there to return to an old school LSU defense. This defensive line may be the best personnel and depth wise that we've had since 2011,
yeah.
2012.
So I think we were 122nd 2 years ago in defense, total defense.
Yeah, something abysmal.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it was that. And then I think we were 59 last year or 61, one of the two.
Yes,
We were in
60,
between those numbers. I think you're going to see another cut in half. I think you're going to be a top 25 defense.
Yeah, I don't think you're a top 10 defense.
Well, that's hard in the SEC. I mean, I'm not. Total defense is kind of a
with LSU's schedule.
If you're in the top 25, you will be in the playoffs. So if you get in the top 25, you're a playoff team, and that's my opinion. And I do think they're going to be a top 25 team. So that will tell you.
I love Blake Baker. I love the personnel. I just want to see us return to a physical program that I haven't seen under Brian Kelly.
Yeah, if a safety goes helmet to helmet with somebody first game, I'm okay with it.
To quote, I think it was Jack Pyburn, I want to
If
see somebody run through somebody's fucking face mask on
yeah,
defense.
I hope
We make flash
I
plays.
hope Halsey. I hope one of their wide receivers gets a tip ball and Halsey just lays him out and gets ejected. I don't even care.
Like we've seen sideline to sideline plays that Perkins and Whit Weeks have made the last couple of years, but
Mhm.
I want to see just a running back blown up in the backfield. That's what's missing. You know, whether it's a defensive tackle, whether it's a defensive end, whether it's a blitzing linebacker, something at the point of attack where we're just blowing somebody up. That's
Who was
what
it? It
we
was,
haven't seen.
who was the really good D lineman that was a prison guard forever and for LSU?
Raheem Alim.
No, there was like a prison guard before.
Chad Lavallee.
Yeah, Chad Lavallee. He laid out Shawn Williams.
Yeah. And the one I can think of the most,
Justin Vincent and
there was one play Whit Weeks made against Mississippi State 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago at Mississippi State, where he blew one up in the backfield. But like those plays have been so few and far between.
yeah.
We're
Yeah,
catching
I mean
people instead of
Weeks literally broke the running back's leg off of Ole Miss last year though, and then sacked the quarterback in doing it. He literally pushed him over, broke his leg, and then sacked the quarterback right before overtime. It was a big play. So I think our defense is going to be extremely better, and I think if you get in the top 25, even maybe top 30, I think you're a playoff team.
yeah. A couple other little things here and there, little tidbits before we close out tonight.
Yeah.
We talked about Max Johnson last night. Okay. And Max Johnson, they ran an article on ESPN.com today about Max Johnson. And I didn't know the severity of his
I mean, I
leg
haven't heard.
injury.
I mean, I knew it was a bad injury. I mean,
So he broke like the femur in half.
ugh.
And then he had to have surgery, and then there was complications. He was in the hospital. He couldn't walk for 3 months.
So he had that same. What was the Redskins quarterback? In the
Not that severe.
okay, yeah, he didn't get staff.
Yeah, but he definitely is. He's at North Carolina. He's competing for the starting job. I don't think he's going to win the job because
Oh,
he's got.
he was pretty athletic too. I mean, as much as I didn't really like him, and I was really happy to see him leave because I kind of think he's a pussy, but he was also kind of not too. I don't know. I
He was the
never
ultimate quarterback that gets you fired as a coach because he's just good enough where the fan base has expectations, but in reality, he's just average enough that he sucks.
the people saying how good he was gonna. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't think so.
He was the ultimate middle of the road quarterback, and he got 3 coaches fired. He got 3 national championship coaches fired. He got Ed Orgeron fired, he got Jimbo Fisher fired, and he got Mac Brown fired. I mean, it's true.
He did.
He got 3 national champ because he is the ultimate middle of the road quarterback that is just good enough. It's like when you have it's like the Saints when you're stuck in purgatory with Derek Carr. He's the Derek Carr of college football.
I like Max Johnson better than Derek Carr.
He's
I,
got they're the ultimate get coaches fired quarterbacks.
dude, yeah, I'm live would have hated Max. I bet if he could have talked about Max Johnson, he'd have hated Max Johnson for sure.
And then the last tidbit I have of the night, new breaking news right before we came on live here, about an hour before. The Chicago Bears have released Major Burns.
It's the end of the road for old Major Burns.
Wished him the best of luck.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably a nice guy.
Probably will be a great high school football coach one day. I could see that.
Yeah, he lost his dad, young. It was sad. I mean, I was glad to see him. He was happy to be back. He should have never. We should have never got rid of him. I mean, maybe we were. I was kind of pissed that Edo did that. He was the one who
Yeah.
wrote, but maybe there was a reason. I don't know. I don't know. I think he got hurt. I think that was his issue. But I mean, maybe I'm giving him a.
I think you're giving him a little bit of a pass.
There's a defensive
personally.
play last year that was sent to us against Florida, and it's just
He's
it'll
bad.
be nightmares. Just everybody in the secondary did something wrong, and it's just like the guy went untouched, who wasn't that fast. And how does Ryan not get the angle? I'm so happy he's at Ole Miss. Shit, they should have got Burns a second, another like a 6 year, and got him at Ole Miss.
I'm just glad the standard is better now at LSU.
It is, and enough without those two players. They're on LSU, so fuck them. But
All right. Tomorrow
well,
night we'll be back, same place, same time. We'll be figuring out the mic situation, figuring out the headphone situation. Hopefully we have some better quality. We're working on new equipment. Um, like the channel, subscribe to the channel on YouTube and like the video. That way you get alerts when we go live and when we post new stuff. Got anything else, Chipper?
nope.
All right,
Looking
till
for tomorrow. Get into the offense.
get into the office.